Welcome to SimTour Project Episode 4 DIY Edition. All of these setups feature at least some customization and DIY work. Real quick before we get started, over 90% of my viewers are not subscribed, so if you enjoy this episode and want to see more, hit the subscribe button and press the like button as it massively helps my channel grow. And with that being said, let's get into it. And starting off all the way from Chile, we have Sandro. Sandro's a 31-year-old environmental civil engineer, and it took him approximately 2 years to get his setup where it is today. And that's not surprising, seeing as nearly everything in his rig has some level of customization. Sandro is rocking a Logitech G29 with several custom third-party wheel rims. Not sure how well they work on a G29, but they definitely look pretty cool. He's even using some mods on the paddle shifters to make them easier to reach. Down below, he completely modified his Logitech pedals and was able to invert them to mimic a real car. This is actually a somewhat common modification I've seen many people do. Finishing off the Logitech ecosystem, he's rocking the G27 shifter, which he of course completely modified by changing the shifter boot and knob. I can only imagine what he's done to his real car. As you've probably noticed, all of this gear is being held up by a PVC cockpit Sandro made himself. On it, he has also attached a real car seat from a Chevrolet Corsa. Being the absolute legend that he is, he also provided a short video for all of us to see it and all of his other gear in action. Take a look. The desk behind his cockpit holds up his LG 43-inch TV as well as his gaming laptop, which houses a GTX 1060, i5 7300 and 16GB of RAM. Don't ask me how, but Sandro somehow managed to grab a Logitech G29 promotional poster and place it up beside his rig. Accounting for everything you've seen, he spent an estimated $2,000, but it certainly got him one of the most unique rigs I've ever seen. Sandro, thank you for your submission, and I'll be looking forward to seeing what you come up with next. And if you thought that last one had a lot of custom work done, just wait till you see Pete's. Pete is a 52-year-old aerospace engineer from the United States, and nearly everything in his rig / man cave has been customized or DIY'd. Starting off with his rig, it's completely handmade from wood, painted in blue, and completely personalized. Onto it, he has not only attached a massive 49-inch Acer ultra-wide monitor, but he also went as far as to put a smaller display on top. No idea how he did it, but I'm sure an aerospace engineer knows what he's doing. His seat is an NRG RSC 200, which from my quick Google search is actually quite affordable. Anyways, on his custom built chassis, he's rocking a Fanatec CSL DD alongside the McLaren GT3 V2 rim. On top of his wheelbase, he's attached an old iPhone 5, I believe, which shows some telemetry information. Next to it, he's got a custom built button box, which he was easily able to bolt onto his wooden rig. He's also got a bunch of other cool stuff, such as random switches, a custom wind simulator with 120mm fans and 3D printed mounts, and the SHH shifter, which I've actually already reviewed. For ultimate immersion, he's also got an HP Reverb G2 VR headset. And that makes me wonder, which would you rather have for your sim racing setup, an ultra-wide monitor or a VR headset? Let me know in the comments below. Talking about below, that's where he's got the Fanatec CSL Elite load cell pedals with some small vibration motors attached to them. This of course makes them vibrate for added immersion, but the pedals won't be the only thing vibrating, so will his seat, which of course has a bass shaker underneath. If all of this wasn't cool enough, take a look at his PC with a custom Golf livery wrap on the case. This thing looks absolutely insane as it houses a 3060 Ti, Intel i5 10600K and 32GB of RAM. Pete estimates that his rig has cost him an estimated $2,000, which if true is an absolute bargain considering everything he's got. And talking about everything else he's got, check out the rest of his room where he has placed photos of cars he has previously owned, like a Shelby 427 Cobra replica, a Superlight SLC, and a Lotus Elise. And without doubt, the coolest part of everything here is that he's subscribed to OC Racing. If his aerospace engineering degree didn't prove that he was smart, that sure does. Pete, thank you for submitting. I'm sure a few jaws dropped looking at everything you have going on. Talking about dropped, have you all dropped a like on this video yet? Okay, I'm done. Next up, coming all the way from Sweden, we have Charlie. Charlie's a 14-year-old student and his setup cost him an estimated 200 to 300 pounds. His cockpit is entirely made from wood, or as he indicated, some wood he found, and he's rocking the first ever white seat featured on this series, which is the, again as he stated, the I don't know. Anyway, on his custom wooden rig, Charlie went with the trusty Logitech G29 wheel and pedals. And he finishes off the Logitech ecosystem with the popular driving force shifter. As per the display, he's using a 27-inch Samsung monitor, and he's also got an Oculus Quest 2 headset for maximum immersion. Powering all of this, he's got an RTX 3060, an i5 9600K, and 16GB of RAM. Charlie also provided a short video of his sim racing and productivity setup, where you can get a good look at everything he's got. Definitely a pretty impressive setup for a 14-year-old. One second.
Yep, let me go and have a look. Overrules himself, penalty.
Charlie, why did you not press the like button on my video? I'll let it slide only because you submitted your setup. Thank you, Charlie, for your submission. Continuing along, we have Jack, a 31-year-old middle school art teacher in the United States who, as you can imagine, likes to create DIY projects. He's using an IKEA desk and a generic office chair to race, but he certainly makes the most of what he has. On his desk, he's using the Thrustmaster TX with a custom-made formula-style wheel rim he created from an old skateboard deck. He also made a video documenting the process on his YouTube channel, which I enjoyed watching, and you may too, after you finish watching this one, of course. The 3D printed quick release allows him to quickly switch between his custom-built rim to the original Thrustmaster GTE rim he took the button box out of and uses to rally. He also attaches an Android phone on top of the wheelbase, which he can use as a digital dash. Right next to his Thrustmaster TX, he made a simple button box out of a numpad and put some stickers onto it. This is a creative and super inexpensive way of creating a DIY button box of your own. Down below, he's using the Loadsaw Thrustmaster TLCM pedals, which he seems to have reinforced with some wood. Back up top, he's using the Thrustmaster TH8A with the optional rally knob, as well as a custom-made handbrake he made with an Xbox controller to send the input back into the game. He attached a wooden handbrake shaft which he connects to the joystick with string. Hard to explain with words, but easy to understand once you see it visually. He also provided a quick video showcasing everything in action.
60, turn 1 left, opens 3 long, sudden turn 2 right, 80, turn 1 right long,
Powering all of this, Jack primarily uses an Xbox Series X for the more demanding sim racing titles and a non-gaming laptop for some of the lighter ones. Not accounting for those, his estimated setup cost is only $500. Jack, thank you for submitting, and I'll be looking forward to seeing your future DIY sim racing videos. And of course, ending off the video with a banger, we have Keanu. He's a 12-year-old student from the Netherlands, and for a 12-year-old, this is crazy. Keanu's chassis is completely DIY'd from metal parts and even holds up a 6-piece audio system. He's using a generic seat from AK Racing with a Sparko sticker on the back of it for extra cool points. On his rig, he's rocking the Logitech G920 with the Logitech pedals underneath. An interesting thing I noticed is that the chassis doesn't have any hard mounting holes, so he's clamped the wheel onto it using the integrated G29 desk clamps. This kind of takes away the purpose of the chassis, but I'll let it slide. His custom-made chassis also comes with an integrated monitor stand, which holds up his Sony Bravia TV. Powering everything, he's using a white Xbox One S, which he uses to play Dirt Rally 2, Assetto Corsa, and Forza Horizon 4. One of my favorite parts of his setup are all the small decorations he has next to it, like some custom drawings of cars, which are crazy good for a 12-year-old, a bunch of Legos, and some model cars, which by the looks of them seems like you have good taste. Keanu, thank you for submitting your very cool and unique sim racing setup. And just like that, this wraps up episode 4 of SimTour Project. If anything here caught your eye, I'll have all the products linked in the video description. If you enjoyed this video, consider pressing the like button as it massively helps with the algorithm, and consider subscribing if you want to see more episodes like this. But with all that being said, thank you all for watching, stay safe, and have a fantastic rest of your day.